Hello everyone. So today in this video we are going to discuss this question, the enchanted forest, which is asked in Codeforces round 796 div 1. First let's understand the question. In this question we are given an x-axis, and on the x-axis we are given n points, which are numbered from 1 to n. What we can do is, at any minute we can jump to any point and we can eat the mushroom. Actually these 1 to n points are actually mushroom. So let's understand the question in the paint. Actually we are given this is an x-axis, and on x-axis we are given n points. Let's say this is the first point, this is the second point, so until this is the third point, so until this is the nth point. On the first point there are actually a1 number of mushrooms. They are actually a1 number of mushrooms. On the second point there are a2 number of mushrooms. On the third point there are a3 number of mushrooms, so until there are an number of mushrooms. Let's say at t is equal to t1, let's say at t is equal to t1, you decided to take up the mushroom a3. If you decided to take up the mushroom a3, then you actually ate a3 mushrooms. As you ate a3 mushrooms, it takes 1 minute, and after 1 minute all the values of the other mushrooms increases by 1. a1 becomes a1 plus 1, a2 becomes a2 plus 1, so until an becomes an plus 1. And this a3 you have consumed now, so it becomes 0, so it becomes 0 plus 1, it becomes 1. So actually what we are doing, so how 1 second is 1 minute is calculated. Suppose you are on a3 and you move to a4. So from a3 when you move to a4, it takes actually 1 minute. If I so we have to tell in time t how many maximum mushrooms we can collect. In time t, how many maximum mushrooms we can collect. So let's first understand what is the meaning of actually 1 minute. Actually in this question 1 minute is actually equal to 1 jump plus 1 eat plus increment plus 1 increment. The meaning of 1 minute. 1 minute is actually equal to 1 jump plus 1 eat plus 1 increment. Let's understand this meaning of 1 minute with the help of an example. Suppose we are given a1, a2, a3, a4. Suppose I jump on a1. Suppose I jump on a1, and first is jump, then is eat, then is increase. Suppose I jump on a1, then I eat the value at a1, so I got a1. Then I increase every value by 1, so a2 becomes a2 plus 1, a3 becomes a3 plus 1, a4 becomes a4 plus 1. And as a1 is now becomes 0 as I have eaten all the mushrooms, so a1 becomes a1 becomes 0, and 0 plus 1 becomes 1. This is actually the meaning of one jump. Suppose now I decided to either remain on a1 only, or either remain on this, that is the first position only, or I decided let's move to second position. So moving to the second position takes 1 unit of time. If I want to move to the third position, then moving to the third position, that is this is the third position, from the first, this is actually the third position, from the first position takes 2 unit of time. So let's say I decided to move to okay, so let's say I decided to move to a2. As I decided to move to a2, that is or I mean to say is the second position, not actually a2, it's let's say second position, it takes 1 minute of time. So what I can say is, from a1 I have jumped to a2, from a1 I have jumped to a2, I have eaten a2 and the 1 mushroom also, a2 plus 1, and I have increment all of them by 1, so this become 1 become 2, this a2 plus 1 becomes 0, and after increment it becomes 1, this becomes plus 1 also, this becomes plus 1 also. In this way, so on, we will find out. So what is the meaning of 1 minute? 1 jump plus 1 eat plus 1 increase. From a1 I jumped initially, from somewhere I jumped to a1, then I eat a1, then increment all the values by 1, this is equal to 1 minute. Then from a1 I jumped to a2, eat a2 and the value extra, that is a2 plus 1, and I increment all of them by 1. So this is actually 1 minute according to the question. According to the question, this is actually 1 minute. Now let's understand how we will be able to solve this question. So let's understand how we will be able to solve with the help of some test cases. Actually, we are given cave nuts and we have to tell whether in the cave nuts how many mushrooms we can eat in total. So in the example, if we carefully observe, we can see that the two cases exist. In the test cases, we are given first the number of test cases, then the number of mushrooms, then the total time given. That is, we have to tell how many mushrooms which we can eat in this given time. Let's say we know test T1, then we are given A1, A2, A3, so on till n values. So these n values represents the number of mushrooms which are there. A1 values on the first point, A2 values on the second point, A3 values on the A3 mushrooms, or I can say values on the third point, and so on. Now in the given time T1, I have to tell how many mushrooms I can eat, maximum number of mushrooms I can eat. So the first concept which came in our mind is of bind research. That is, we can apply the concept of bind research. Or the second concept which can came to our mind is simple maths. So we will apply here the concept of simple maths. We will not apply the concept of bind research here. We will apply the concept of simple maths. So we can say let the type number of mushrooms be n and the time which is given to is k. So what we can say is, let's make two cases out of it. If k is less than equal to n and if k is greater than n. So let's first understand the test case when k is less than equal to n, and after that we will understand the test case when k is greater than n. So let's say if k is less than equal to n. If k is less than equal to n, and suppose let's write some numbers 3, 5, 1, 2, 6, 8, 5. Let's say these are the 7 mushrooms. These are the 7 actually points, and each point has ai number of mushrooms. Let's say k is less than equal to n, and let's say we are given k is equal to 4, n is equal to 3, 3, 6, 7, n is equal to 7, and we can see here n is 7 and k is 4, and we are dealing with the case that is k is less than equal to n. We are not dealing with k is greater than n. We will deal with k is greater than n later on in the video. So we can say if k is less than equal to n, it means we can easily be able to say, let's say first come to the point. Let's say I decided to eat the mushroom 5. I decided to eat the mushroom 5. After eating the mushroom 5, here it becomes 0. Okay, then I increment all of them by 1. As in 1 minutes contain, I increment all of the. First I jump to this value, that is the second position. Then I decided to eat it to get overall 5 value. Then what I do is in 1 minute I can increment all of them. So this 0 becomes 0 plus 1, 1 becomes 1 plus 1, 2 becomes 2 plus 1, 6 becomes 6 plus 1, 8 becomes 8 plus 1, 5 becomes 5 plus 1. So I had ate all the mushrooms, I had ate all the 5 mushrooms. Then after in 1 minute increment takes place also. Then I, let's say, decided to move to 3. Then what would I do is I will eat 3 plus 1 4. Then it completely vanishes, it becomes 0. After increment it becomes plus 1, 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 and it also becomes plus 1. Now I have eaten 4 mushrooms. Let's say now I again decided to move to this section. As you can see, first I moved to left, then I moved to came out to same position A2, which now at this point of time contains only 2 mushrooms. After 2 mushrooms only, so we can say after that we move to third position, that is 1, and we ate all the 3 mushrooms. After that, let's say we move to 4th position and we ate all the mushrooms. During the mushrooms, we can also say that when I move from 5th to 1, all the mushrooms also incremented by 1. When I move from 1st to 2nd, then all the mushrooms incremented by 1 to 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 5, so on. We can do 4 number of moves. But one thing which we can observe from here is, first we go from 5, then after 5 we go to 3, then from 3 there we again come to 5. If we again come to 5, how much value we can get? From 5 we got the value of 5, then from 3 we got the value of 3. after when we again come back to 5, we can easily be able to see that we only gains 2 values. But if if we think of optimally, don't you think the optimal approach should be, if I want to eat the mushrooms of value 3, mushrooms of value 5, and the subsidiaries which will be formed later on, don't you think I have to traverse, I should traverse first 3, then 5, then 1, and then 2, which would give me the maximum value, because going from 5 to 3, then 3 to 5 will takes 2 unit of time and does not give me as much money. Will actually take 3 unit of time. First I jump to 5, then I jump to 3, then again I jump to 5, which takes actually 3 unit of time. But if I directly jump to 3, then go to 5, which gives that will give me actually more money. Don't you think the optimal approach should be, we will consider the window of length k. We must consider, the optimal approach would be, we must consider window. We must consider the window of length k. We must consider the window of length k. Don't you think this would be the optimal approach when k is less than or equal to n? Because returning to the same value, actually why we are taking the window of length k, because if we are returning to the same value, suppose I move from 5 to second position to first position, then after first position we can move to second position. So moving to the third repeated value does not give us much value as compared to, because we can traverse other values instead of again moving back to that value, because that value will also be incremented by 1 and other values are also incrementing by 1. But we had already captured this value which I am marking right now. So it becomes 0 plus some increment, and later stage there is some value x and plus increment. So it is better to take these values as compared to moving again. So what I'm actually trying to say is, if k is less than or equal to n, our target is that we would not come back to a point again. So if we would not want to come back to the point again, which is the optimal approach and which will produce the best result, so what we will do is, we will choose a sub array of length k. We will choose a sub array of length k. What we will choose is, we will choose a sub array of length k. So what is the final conclusion which we can draw out from this section is that it is not optimal. You can think of it why it is not optimal. Try to do three or more test cases and try to find why it is not optimal to come to a point again. That is, from second position we come to first position, and after from first position we again goes to second position, then from second position we goes to third position. So it takes 4 units of time. There might be a better approach, that is, from first position we go to second position, then from second position we go to third position, and then from third position we go to fourth position in 4 units of time. So what you can do is, from second position you go to first position, then from first position you go to second position, and then from second position you go to third position. This takes 4 units of time, and find out the cost. And another thing which you can do is, from first position go to second position, from second position go to third position, from third position go to fourth position, which also takes 4 units of time, and try to find the cost of it. You will see that the cost in the second case will be more as compared to the cost in the first case. After doing 3 to 4 test cases, you will be able to easily figure out that why window of length k is actually the optimal approach. Window of length k y is actually the optimal approach. So let's say our k is 4 and let's say our n is actually 6. So let's write it. Let's derive the formula. Let's derive the formula when k is less than or equal to n. So our a1, a2, a3, a4, a5, a6. So let's derive the formula when k is less than or equal to n. Here k is 4. What I said is, the optimal approach should be, take subarray of size 4. Let's say I take the subarray a1 to a4 of size 4. Let's say I take this subarray. So let's say I suppose take a1. I jump to a1, I eat a1. Let me clear something. As I jump to a1 and I eat a1, then I increment all of them by 1. So this becomes 1. This becomes a2 plus 1, then this becomes a3 plus 1, this becomes a4 plus 1, then this becomes a5 plus 1, then this becomes let's say in the as in the 4 second, this also becomes a5 plus 1, this becomes a6 plus 1. Let's say now decided to move to a2, so I will be able to read a2 plus 1, a2 plus 1, and after that all the things become incremented by 1. So this becomes 2, this actually becomes 1, this becomes a3 plus 1 plus 1, this becomes a4 plus 1 plus 1, because this becomes a5 plus 1 plus 1, this becomes a6 plus 1 plus 1. Okay, okay. Then after that, let's say I decided to move to another one, that is a3. If I decided to move to a3, then this 2 becomes 3, this 1 becomes 2, and I also 8. a3 plus 2, this whole section becomes 1. Here 1 is incremented, here 1 is incremented, and here also 1 is incremented. Now let's say I decided to move to, from a3 I decided to move to a4. So I will 8 up all the whole section, it will equal to a4 plus 3, it will now become 1. This also becomes incremented by 1, this also becomes incremented by 1. Now what I can see is my 4 seconds had completed, and the number of mushrooms which I can eat is this only. If I write it in more proper way, it would be a1 plus a2 plus a3 plus a4 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3. Okay, so what conclusion? Okay, so what we have considered a subarray of size a4, that is a1 to a4. If we consider the subarray of size from a2 to a5 or from a3 to a6, then this value a1 plus a2 plus a3 plus a4 becomes a2 plus a3 plus a4 plus a5, or it becomes a3 plus a5, a3 plus a4 plus a5 plus a6. So let me clear out some space so that we can work further. So I'm writing the other section upwards. So what we can say that from this formula, that we we have to consider all subarray of size k and find max of it, We have to consider all the subarrays of size k and find max of it. You can easily be able to find it using the concept of sliding window. Plus, we can see that apart from the max section, this section is constant. Here we can see this is a4 and there are 3 terms. It means if a4 means this is the window of size 4, or I can say this is the window of size k, and here it is also 4. So what I can say is we have to find the sum till k minus 1 elements. So what is the sum of k minus 1 elements? K minus 1 into k by 2 is the sum of k minus 1 elements. So our if k is less than equal to n, so our answer would be, if k is less than equal to n, so our answer would be consider all subarrays of size k and find the max of it. Consider all the subarrays of size k, find their sum and find the max of it. You can easily be able to do it with the concept of sliding window. Plus this number is constant, k into k minus 1 by 2. This is the concept when k is less than equal to n. Now let's find out the formula when k is greater than equal to n. So let me clear up the whole space. So now let's say when k is, let me write it again when k is less than equal to n. Let me write it again when k is less than equal to n. All subarray of size k sum we have to take the max of it plus k into k minus 1 by 2. Let's consider the another case when k is greater than n. Let's say now k is greater than n. So if k is greater than n, what do you think? What should be the optimal strategy? Let's say a1, a2, a3, a4 and a5. We have n is equal to 5, and let's say we have k is equal to 7. Don't you think the optimal strategy should be same? Should be same as we had discussed in the when k is less than n. In k is less than n, we are considering two things actually. First, we are saying that we have to consider a subarray of size k. And another most important thing in the when k is less than equal to n, we are saying is that we will not come to one point again. That if we come to one point again, then it will lead to the decrement of it will not lead to so much growth. We can easily be able to see, we can easily be able to figure out by doing some tests why this is the optimal strategy. So what I can say is, let's say I decided, as there are n is 5, so let's say I decide, I'm actually trying to tell you optimal strategy, and you can easily be able to figure out why this is the optimal strategy. Let's say I decided to go to a1 first. After going to a1, I decided, now again for second minute also I go to a1. I decided from third minute also, but I go to a1. I go to a1 means I will remain at a1. At 3 seconds, as 3 seconds go now, all the values from a2 to a5 are incremented by 3, and simultaneously a1 gets incremented, which we discussed later on while we are trying to derive the formula for k is greater than n. So for now only, I decided to, for the first minute I decided to stay at a1, for second minute also I decided to stay at a1, for third minute also I decided to stay at a1. In this point of time I gained a1, and also the as for 3 minutes I decided to stay at a1, so I also got 2 mushrooms extra, that is a1 plus 2. And in the meantime, all the mushrooms from a2 to a5 are incremented by 3. Now I have spent 3 minutes here at a1, and I have 7 minutes in total. So remaining minutes which are left with me is 4. So in 4 minutes I decided to go to a2. Then in the next minute I decided to go to a3. Then in the next minute I decided to go to a4. Then the next minute I decided to go to a5. And I'm saying this is the optimal strategy. And I'm saying this is the optimal strategy when k is greater than n. So let's figure out. So let's understand how we can derive this using the derive the formula for k is greater than n. In the code section, we will be able to see how we will derive the formula using when k is greater than n. Or let's say first I will make a dry test run of it, then we will derive the formula. a1, a2, let's say it is a3 and a4. Let's say n is 4, and let's say k is 6. So what we will do is, first I come to a1. What I have in my hand is a1. I come to a1, I eat a1, and then increment all elements by 1. So it becomes so actually from 0 it becomes 1. It becomes a2 plus 1. It becomes a3 plus 1. It becomes a4 plus 1. In the second I remain at a1. If I remain at a1, I eat this one also. So it becomes a1 plus 1, and I eat this one. Now all the values are incremented by 1, so it becomes 0, it becomes again 1, it becomes a2 plus 1, it becomes a3 plus 1, it becomes a4 plus 1. Now for third second also I decided to remain at this position. For third second also I decided to remain at this position. So what I will do is, I will eat this one, so it plus 1. I will increment all the others by 1. This also, as I eat, this becomes 1. Okay. Now 3 seconds have gone, and the mushrooms which I got till now is a1 plus 2. Remember, see clearly, it is a1 plus 2. And you can also see this a1 plus 2. What you can see this 2 is actually k minus n only. We will see further what we will do now. Now we have only 3 seconds left, or I can say 3 minutes left. I am interchangeably using minutes and seconds. You can easily be able to guess up what I am trying to say. So let's now we have 3 minutes left. In the next minute, I decided to move to a2. As I decided to move to a2, then how much mushrooms I can get? I can get a2 plus 3 mushrooms. as I ate all the A2 plus 3 mushrooms, then this becomes 0, and after increment it becomes 1. It also increments by 1, it also increments by 1. Then I decided to move to A3 in the next minute. So it becomes A3 plus 4. I ate all of this becomes 1, and after increment this becomes 1, and this also becomes plus 1. Now I decided to move to A4, so it becomes A4 plus 5. It becomes A4 plus 5. Now my all the minutes become 0 minute. So this is my final answer. So from this, what conclusion you can draw? That is A1 plus 2 plus A2 plus 3 plus A3 plus 4 plus A4 plus 5. Or in more better way, what I can write it as A1 plus K minus N plus A2 plus K minus N plus 1 plus A3 plus K minus N plus 2 plus A4 so until, what we can say is so until, or I can say, let's say there are 4 or more elements, so the A4 into, it's actually what is this, actually 5 of the form. This 5 is actually of the form 1. So it's at the end it becomes K minus 1. You can see K minus N, then K minus N plus 1, then K minus N plus 2. And at the end it will become K minus 1. So in general, what I can write is, you can see this K actually comes 4 times. I can write as A1 plus A2 plus A3 so on till AN. In general, I am writing sum of all the elements plus this K will come N times minus. What you can see is, this is actually take minus common, this is N. Take minus common, this is N minus 1. Take minus common, this is N minus 2. Take minus common, this is 1. So on till. Actually, there are many elements. So let's say so on till. This is actually minus 1. So in minus, take minus common, this is 1. So it is actually minus the summation of all the elements from 1 to n, which is actually n into n plus 1 by 2. So this is our formula when k is greater than n. When k is greater than n. This is our formula when k is greater than n. So let's dive into the code section. We can see that when k is less than or equal to n, what I had done is I have take every subarray of length k. I have take every subarray of length k and find the max of it and then apply the formula. In the code also I have done this derivation which I have shown you in the video in a previous section, and I applied the formula and find out the answer. In this way we can code this question. If you like this video, do share and subscribe. Thank you.